Top quality highlight.
Crocodile Dundee job, isn't it? Video lately, yeah?
The one last week was crazy.
Really did, didn't they? When they lose the clip, the player make up for it, just to get away from where yeah, the pumping's done well, Dave. Yeah, you know what? I kept expecting it to slip on. Yeah, it never happened, did it? No, I think our firepower is sort of goals all over the place, not just strikers. I mean, strikers are both coming out. Are we going to need to strengthen, do you think? Yeah, yeah. Great deal. Are we making any money? Yeah. Yeah. The two lads that own the club, father and son, and he was the Disney CEO. Oh, he's a billionaire. He won't spend money like for some years. Does he live over here then? No, they live in America. Come over quite a bit. The Eisners. Right, what do we call them? Eisner. Jewish. That sounds a lot. Yeah, it sounds like old money, isn't it? Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, well. But yeah, they're good guys. They stay out of the way. They don't make a lot of sense. What is news there?
Championship, and that's what we really need to do now.
Hello and welcome to the My Energy Stadium for this Northern Premier League East match between Cleethorpes Town and Stocksbridge Park Steels. I'm your commentator, Adam Allcroft, and we are sponsored by Jason Rawson, carpet fitter and supplier. So we are in our last away day of the season, and where better to have our last away day by the seaside, just a 30 minutes walk from here, which I tested last year, all the way just to the coast, just a 5-minute walk here at Cleethorpes Town. That's a vote of confidence, mate. Thank you for that. Anyway, we have a great game here coming up. The Steels still haven't secured their safety in the Northern Premier League East, and results have been going against the Steels in terms of that. Brighouse picking up the win on Tuesday night. That means we're not truly safe. So there's still plenty for Stocksbridge to play for. Cleethorpes may have had a bit of time a few months ago when they were stuttering and dropping a bit dangerously close to that bottom two, but have had a good run of form and managed to stay towards the top half of the table. So we will run through the teams for you now. So we'll start with Cleethorpes. So it's Ben Bottomley in goal, then it's John Oglesby, AJ Adelican, Sam Kay, Paul Walker, Dan Gallimore, Harvey Tomlinson, Alex Flett, who's the captain, Josh Walker, Will Annan, and Curtis Bateson. The benches Harley Thompson, Tim Lowe, Liam Dickens, Max Adamson, and James McKeown. For Stocksbridge today, it's Ben Townsend in goal, then Tom Charlesworth, who returns from suspension, Jordan Lemon, Luke Hogg, Charlie Oglesby, Alex Phillipson, Curtis Turner, Alex O'Connor, Luke Rawson, Tom Poole, and Jack Watson. The bench is Bailey Ty Baker, Jack Dahlman, Oliver Novak, Tom Marshall, and Andy Ring. So Curtis Turner filling in as captain today, as the teams are going to be swapping sides. Steels in recent history have improved their record against Cleethorpes. So it used to be a bit of a bogey team for Stocksbridge, but did have picked up wins home against them in the last couple of seasons, though they did lose to Cleethorpes in the FA Cup at the start of the season, though that follow-up fixture in the league was won by the Steels. Cleethorpes have got the kick-off here. Looks like it will be Alex Flett, Cleethorpes as captain, starting the game for us. Our reserves, by the way, are also in action today in a cup final against Caribbean Sports. We will up to date with the goals from that crucial match for Mark Fretwell's side. But here we will be with Ian Richards as he looks to make sure the Steels are safe in the Northern Premier League East for another year, and safe in the Northern Premier League 28 years in a row it would be. Cleethorpes just on the attack now. The game has kicked off. Cleethorpes Town in the blue and black striped shirt, blue shorts, blue socks, kicking from right to left, while Stocksbridge Park Steels in the all red kit, hit with white trim from left to right. The ball is just back now with Bottomley. Sends it long, looking for Annan, but it will be headed away by Hogg. Watson chests it down, a bit of barge in the back from Adelic, and it will be a free kick just inside the Cleethorpes half. Goodwin's in the normal club has still ruled out after his operation a few weeks ago. As Watson here looks to turn his man, tries to cut left by Annan, who then gets it out to Kale on the right. The foul from Stockbridge in the build-up, but advantage will be played, and after the long ball doesn't find anyone, there will be a free kick back in Cleethorpes' own half for not the most famous Owls around, as Stocksbridge have another fairly famous Owls team just down the road, but one that is a very familiar foe in this league for the Steels. Ball going long, will be headed on by Walker, but then Hogg heads away, goes to Rawson, who will try to head back in midfield, but just gives it back to Cleethorpes. Oops. As Tomlinson will pass it back into defence for Gallimore. He's going to try and get it onto the right wing, but Lemon will only head up into the air. Could lose this, does lose this. Down on the right wing with Walker trying to find it in its battle with Oglesby, and Oglesby does really well to win the ball inside the box, and he's cleared it away, and it will be Walker trying to handle it here on the right-hand side, looks to turn and will clear away, keeps it in very well. Hogg tries to win it, but Cleethorpes win in the air, and with the number 9, Walker. Back to Flett, the captain, who does well, gets it back into their own defence. Cleethorpes retaining possession well, despite pressure from the Steels at the moment. And so, it goes back to Oglesby, tries to send it long, but it's back with him now, so it's returned immediately by Steels. Ball going long to Annan. Annan's going to try and get it past Oglesby. He's on the right wing, gets it well, turns Oglesby. He goes horizontal, but well in from Hogg, who clears away. He could turn into attack here. Rawson takes the touchdown well, but then gets it stuck under his feet. He rebounds away from him. Watson's already committed forward. Adelican will run away with the ball. Bateson here on the left-hand side drops in his own half into the centre of midfield, then switched over to the right wing. It's a fantastic ball. No flag. Tomlinson on the right wing, facing up with Lemon, cuts in on the outside, over to the edge of the box as Kay forced out to the right hand side to Oglesby, puts the cross in. It's a good looking cross. Townsend claims it well though. Good attack from Cleethorpes, but final ball too close to Townsend, who claims it. 2.5 minutes gone in this game, remains 0-0. We will keep you up to date with all the other scorelines in the Northern Premier League East, and we could have champions crowned today as Watson knocks down a long ball to Rawson. Rawson takes a touch, thought about the shot. He said he's going to try and slip through Turner, but Turner's wasn't expecting the ball through there, and it's just going to trickle out for a goal kick. So, yeah, Hebburn today could be crowned as champions. They've only just got first place recently. The games in hand working in their favour. Believe it, we do have the permutations list here. Hebburn will be promoted as champions today if they beat Belper in their match today and Stockton lose to Brighouse. Obviously, Brighouse are fighting against relegation, scrapping for their lives. And Stockton did lose to bottom of the table Winterton last week, so I won't write that one completely off as it's the aerial ball. I think that came off Hogg's arm, but nothing is given for that as Watson holds it down well, tries to get in, but won by Cleethorpes. 1 foot that was sent down the left line for a delicate chase, but it's out for throw-in. We will try and keep you up to date with other score lines across Football League that might be relevant locally or in promotion, relegation battles, that sort of thing. Nothing as of yet, then. Ball goes long. Turner will head it forward. Poole tries to win. It just goes beyond all of them, but in comes Gallimore to sweep up, sends it over towards the right-hand side. Going to be fought for by Tomlinson, but it's Lemon who has it, pass it back to Oglesby, who will send this long. Should be dealt with by Gallimore, can only head it up into the air, and then kept in well by Oglesby. That's John Oglesby, but battle of the Ogleslbys here as Turner is penalised for a trip on the Cleethorpes midfielder. It will be free kick on roughly on the halfway line for the Owls. Ball going long here onto the right wing for Cleethorpes, being forced backwards now to Kay, who clips it in. Ball cleared away by Oglesby, who's already started to have a strong performance in this game already. O'Connor on the ball now, first time he's taken touches in this game. Turner doesn't have a great touch, being robbed of the ball by Bateson, who tries to get through Hogg, but Hogg wins it off him well. Back with Turner, then to Charlesworth, who pushes up short to Watson. Watson turns and sends one down the channel for Rawson to try and chase. Rawson, with a bit of deceptive pace, gets the first touch, but then should be covered by Walker, who's taken it into the corner flag, and it will actually be a Steele's throwing right next to that corner flag. So waiting for this front to go in. Here at the Lindham Sports Club My Energy Stadium. Charlesworth has headed off to say the throw in. He's not got many options, but then Watson and Turner break out, but he's not going to take either one of them. And then he finds Rawson in the box up on the right wing, tries to find somewhere clever little pass, but a bit too clever its own good. It was intercepted. Back in Stocksbridge possession now, though. Phillipson tries to find Turner, but they're intercepted and a ball down the left-hand side that Phillipson will win well and pass it back to Townsend, who's got some pressure, but Townsend first time sends it long, looking for Rawson. Head up into the air by the Cleethorpes defender. It's just an air battle, which Cleethorpes are winning every time the ball goes in the air, but they have lost it to Watson now, who will try and go down the right wing cover, cuts in the inside with a little spin move, then down the right. Watson is sending the Cleethorpes defenders into spins here, back to Cleethorpes, to Charlesworth, who has his cross blocked, and now it's back with Anna. Flett now will pass it back to the goalkeeper Bottomley, who won't have any pressure from him. Taking his time with it, and he will send it long. Ogilvy's going to go for the header, but it's going to drop a bit short, and then eventually bounces onto his own away. So O'Connor touches it onto Poole, who's going to move through the middle, sends a pass looking for Watson. It's a great pass to Watson, who will try to get the beating of a Delican here. He's got an option with Charlesworth. Charlesworth tries to bring it across, takes a deflection, and claimed at the near post by Bottomley. Good attacking move from the Steels, just some good defending from Cleethorpes. Key block that took the sting out of that low ball across the 6-yard box. And now it's back with Bottomley. So that's 7 minutes gone in this game. Remains 0-0 here. No goals in the Northern Premier League East at all as of yet. Stocksbridge's ball forward just goes out for a throw deep into their own half of Cleethorpes. Back with John Oglesby for this throw-in. The Seals that Cleethorpes at this point don't really have anything to play for. They are just playing for pride. And at this point of the season, if you have got something to play for, you want to play against these guys hoping that they have taken their foot off the gas a bit. But Cleethorpes, I'm sure, will have been told by their management team that they should not be doing so, that they'll be fighting for team spots next year and trying to make sure that their fans can have something to cheer to end the season with and give them some positivity to go into next year. As a ball turned out to Watson on the left-hand side, and the offside flag is up on him. Stocksbridge's most offsided player gets caught again. Back with Bottomley. I think the Cleethorpes have got a goalkeeper on the bench. Should there be any injury or red card for Bottomley, James Becombe, the former Grimsby Town goalkeeper, who are also at home today. Grimsby, they're hosting Swindon Town in a League Two action just down the road. Cleethorpes do play in Cleethorpes, but so do Grimsby Town play in Cleethorpes. It's one of Grimsby Borough's famous claims is that they are the biggest Grimsby team in Grimsby. As Lemon just been pressed into his own corner flag here, manages to get it through the Cleethorpes attacker, then Hulk passes it down the left hand side. Poole tries to get through his marker, but ends up being knocked down. It will actually be a Stocksbridge Cleethorpes throw, and came off Poole last. It's just with Oglesby now for this throw-in as Cleethorpes look to make the most of their pressure. Big throw into the box, and O'Connor tries to head away, but then Turner will do another head away. That's going to go out for another throw in, a bit closer to the box this time. Quickly taken to find Walker, who tries to touch it on. He can't. He does get the touch, but it ends up going out for a goal kick. Just to let you know, one of the other permutations here is that Winterton, just down another team just down the road from here in Lincolnshire, could also be relegated today. It could be the first team from this league to be relegated. The Rangers would go down if they lose against Dunstan and Ossett avoid defeat, or if they don't beat Dunstan and Ossett beat Bridlington, their opponents. So it's that part of the year where every football-related person has to start doing maths in their head constantly to see who's going up and who's going down. Turner will try and get it towards the right wing, but it would help if someone was there. Adelican has got it, and he's going to send it long. Phillipson, big towering header away as it goes back into the midfield for Cleethorpes. Fleck gets it back into defence to Gallimore, who will look to switch it on the right wing. It's just a bit too much for Oglesby, that, but not too far off. So, Lemon heading over to take this throw-in. 10 minutes gone in this one, 0-0. Nothing much of note has happened yet. Stocksbridge, despite being down towards the bottom of the table, do have one of the best defensive records in the league. Between the attack that's let them down, and that was not better shown than on last Saturday's match against Bridlington Town, that 0-0, which was one of the dullest games I've ever seen. Adelican here will pass it through to the left wing, and well muscled out by Charlesworth, but it's still going to get through. Walker can't keep it in. Tom Charlesworth will have the throw. The shot to Turner, gives it back to Charlesworth, who can only volley that one up in the air, and Annan will head it back, but O'Connor heads it forward. Rawson trying to fight with Adelican here. Big physical battle between the two. Adelican wins that one. He's able to marshal it out of play and keep possession going Cleethorpes' way. Adelican will now do a long throw downfield. Walker heads it on. Oglesby tries to get a foot in, goes to Bates on the left, who holds it down well, being forced out, being forced backwards now, and will give it back to Flett. Ball through to number 10, Annan. He's going to try and put a diagonal ball in, looking for Walker. It's a bit too ahead of him. Lemon will now be able to clear that away. Will be a throw-in that Oglesby takes quick, looking to find Walker. Does do so on the right wing. Then back it goes to the right wing. Cross going in, looping, crossing. Almost looped perfectly to Annan Oglesby with a key header away. Back into midfield it goes with Key now Flett, who's thinking of the shot there, but will instead take it short to Key, and then that's Flett. Then over to the left to Annan. Scored a great free kick against the Steels to win in the FA Cup now with Bates on the left wing. Turns Charlesworth out into the box. 6-yard box goes in. Almost no goal from Phillipson. Ball still in play. And in the end, it goes out for a goal kick. Cleethorpes trying to take the shot there, but it went out before it made it to Townsend. Phillipson's blocked, almost trickling its way in. Big goal in that promotion battle in the Championship. Up in Southampton are leading against Cardiff City. Joe Aribo, the goal scorer for the Saints. Delican does not control it well. Rawson tries to nip him, but Delican does enough to keep control of it. will go down the left, and he's continuing down the left, but well in from Charlesworth, blocks him off. Then Watson gets a foot in, and it will be Cleethorpes throw. Bateson will take it quickly over the top of Charlesworth. It goes to Walker, then back to Bateson. Controls it on the right foot. Drill shot in blocked by both Hogg and Charlesworth. Second cross goes in. Oglesby heads it away, and Cleethorpes winning this midfield battle at the moment, because every time the ball seems to loop into that area, they get the ball back, as it's just currently into their own half, but then clipped over the top. Phillipson will head it away. Then O'Connor's going to fight for it, but won by Fletton then. But that is going to be cleared away now by Lemon. Gallimore looks to control it. It goes over his head, and he volleys it out to Oglesby on the right-hand side. He's going to send it long to Phillipson, who heads it back. Then Lemon will click on. He gets clipped late, Lemon, and it will be a free kick. In a local fixture, Blackpool are beating Barnsley 1-0. Carey, the goal scorer for the Tangerines. And a big goal in our own promotion battle is that Hebburn are leading 1-0 against Belper Town. Should Stockton start losing to Brighouse and lose to Brighouse in the end, and that result stay the same, Hebburn will be champions and promoted from the Northern Premier League East. For all the speak of, North East teams dominating this league, and they do tend to dominate the top parts, it would be the first time since we've had all these North East teams come into the league that one of them's champions. They tend to go up through the playoffs. That's what Mass did. And actually, last year it was Long Eaton who went through the playoffs. Also, no North East teams got promoted last year. Just back with Bottomley now, who will send this long. Obviously tries to get touch on it. It does do, so kind of tries to win it, but Key has got it now, and back it goes to Flett, who has some space to move into. He starts to drift towards the right-hand side of the pitch, then goes to the right wing, looking to cut inside, but can't find space, passes it back to Flett, who looks to switch play, looking for Bateson, who's been Cleethorpes' liveliest player so far, but Charlesworth will clear that one away. Goes to Watson, and back it goes to Hogg now, who carries it forward, and he has to give it back to Phillipson before he's tackled. Now long to Rawson, he goes, tries to chest and control it. He's going back to a Delican here. He wins it though, back to Hogg. Hogg, who's not got many options, he's going to look to switch play over to Thomas Poole, but well intercepted in the air by Oglesby. Goes back to Lemon though. Steele's looking to press forward. He's looking to switch play, looking for Watson, who might have been offside, but that hasn't been given. He's going to run at Delican down there to go. Takes a shot. Well driven. Spilled just beyond Rawson. Turner tries to get onto it. Back goes to O'Connor, who sends it just over. It's the Steels were having a good attack there. Bottomley with a almost costly spill. Just went beyond Rawson, who's only 2 goals away from the 20 mark. Then Turner couldn't get onto it. Fell to Alex O'Connor, who scored against North Ferriby 2 weeks ago. But this time he could send the shot just over. Remains 0-0 here. 15 minutes gone. Steels have the first major opportunity of the game. So Turner on the ball now. Back it goes to Charlesworth. Takes the touch through to Watson, who looks to turn, moves in the inside. Turner sends it over the top for Rawson to chase, though. Looks like Walker should have that covered. He does try to take it to the outside. Might have knocked that out play, but he has kept it in. But it's only going to get back to Watson, who is going to try and turn it. Delican in, puts the pass into the middle. Cool flicks on, looking for Turner. Well intercepted by K. And out it goes to Annan. And now the counter-attack is on. Annan charging at the centre of the defence. Looks to the left for Bateson. It's a great pass, looks for Bateson. But Phillipson will get there first and runs away with it towards the right-hand side. Sends it down line for Watson. He cuts on the outside, and Stocksbridge look to slow things down a bit. Hogg finds pass through to the middle to Rawson, who's looking to hold things up, trying to turn around, but then a bit of a shunt on the number 5, Paul Walker, but in the end it goes out for a Stocksbridge throw. Finishing an equaliser in their game 1-1 against Barton. Their draw ruled them out of play of the play. Durant today is just a practice game for their Sheffield Senior Cup final against Worksop Town in about a week and a half. Ball goes long from Cleethorpes. Oglesby will just head it back to Townsend. The Stocksbridge have grown back into this game after a good spell of domination from Cleethorpes. All the way right to Phillips, and he's charged down. Ends up being a throw-in. Stocksbridge really waiting for a fan to give the ball back here. We're just having a side away because one of the Cleethorpes defenders is having to tie shoelaces. But we'll now be underway. So Charles will get the chance to restart this with throw. Sent long looking for Rawson, going to bounce over him looking for Watson in the end, and but headed away from him, and then goes through to Flett, who is being forced backwards, and in the end he's going to have to get all the way back to Bottomley. Takes the touch and gives it short to Gallimore, who actually quite good at distributing the ball, as we've seen some few times in this game. Sent on looking for Walker, but Oglesby will head it away. Only goes out for a, well, I thought it would go for a throw, but well kept by Oglesby. Sends it down the right for Walker. Tries to put the ball in. Well tackled though by Oglesby. Goes out for a corner kick. If it's our first corner of the game. So Cleethorpes get a chance to put the ball in. Alex Flett heading over to take it. It's a good opportunity for them. Becomes the ball sent into the middle. Rising highest was the number 5 Walker, but anyway, still in the box and almost fall to a Delican, but cleared away now to the right hand side. Cleethorpes still on the attack here. Back it goes to Gallimore on the edge of the area, then out towards Basin, who's more central. He's going to loft the ball into the middle, but Lemon will head it away. But it is back with Cleethorpes, who have positioned themselves well around that edge of that box at the moment and keeping the pressure on, as it's now to the left to Paul Walker, who's going to swing across him, but so top everyone. O'Connor touches away, and then Hogg will knock that away fully. Poole tries to battle for it, but he's going to lose that battle with Gallimore and remains with Cleethorpes for now. Ball sent long, but going to be just straight for Phillips. For him to deal with. He's going to send that long now, but right down the middle where no Steels player is. Back it goes to Bottomley. 19 minutes gone, remains 0-0. Only one goal in the Northern Premier League East so far. Actually, no, as even if results stand, because Grantham aren't playing today, they're doing, because of all the way the fixing schedule's going up, Grantham are playing 3 games from Monday, Thursday, and Saturday. Steels need the win today to secure safety. Otherwise, they'll have to rely on Grantham's result on Monday. As Watson charges down, tried then to get beyond Walker, but instead Cleethorpes do get it away and that's a break. And here comes Walker through, but then well blocked by Lemon, and then it goes back to Townsend, who's going to quickly try and get the counter attack going. Can he get through to Watson? He gets the bouncing ball tucked to the left, and a little push on him, but he carries on with it. He's got a Delican following him, and he's going to pass it in the middle. That chance the counter's over, but O'Connor's still on the ball, going out to the left-hand side, but then well tackled by Tomlinson, and now it's back with Cleethorpes, with Annan in their own half at the moment, followed by Hogg. Hogg gets a foot in, and then the tackle in, which goes out for a throw-in. Ryan goes into the middle and not Tom, but goes to Sir Talsworth, and then head away by Phillipson. Turner not, but manages just to keep it away from Bateson. As it goes back to Charlie Oglesby, who will send it on, blocked though by Bateson, and it's going to spin out for a Stocksbridge throw. Back now with Lemon for this throw-in. Here comes the long throw from Lemon, pinged down, good distance on that long throw, and but in the end it's just going to go back for Paul Walker to clear it right into the air. It's not gone out and going to bounce to stay in. Rawson's trying to get hold of it. In the end, though, Cleethorpes get the final touch and it'll go out for another throw-in. So Lemon now for a short throw to Watson. He's going to try and find him again, but he's loses the ball. But then it's only ends up to Hogg. Hogg looks to switch it over to Charlesworth, who's got lots of space. Charlesworth here tries to put the crossing towards the far end, just over Rawson's head. And then at the far header, it's somehow not enough. Hits the side netting from Thomas Poole's header. Great ball from Charlesworth, just over the head of Rawson. Poole tried to flash in at the far post, but he could only find the side netting. Steels will feel unlucky that they're not ahead here. It remains 0-0 here at the My Energy Stadium. 22 minutes gone. Back with Bottomley now. sending it long now. Headed into midfield where O'Connor is going to send it forward, look for Rawson, who tried to head on, but it's just headed awkwardly back, and then Rawson almost gets hold of it. Charles is going to keep it in though, short to turn, and then back to Hogg, who doesn't spot the oncoming Will Annan, who robs the ball of him, gives it back to Flett, who's going to look to switch play over towards the right-hand side. Well, it's in there by Tomlinson, back into the middle to Kay, and then back to Oglesby, then back to Gallimore, who will send this one long, looking for Walker, but Oglesby heads it way to Lemon, who will then volley it well forward to Rawson. Had his shirt pulled there, but nothing doing, and he'll pass it back to Hogg, who sent it long, and no one's there for it. Throwing it is deep into Cleethorpes' own half. Good job, Portsmouth have already gone up because they're losing 1-0 to Wigan Athletic. Chambers, the goal scoring. Still no other goals in the MPL East at the moment, just that Hebburn one, which gets them closer to the championship. Ball goes forward, but then Cleethorpes do clear away, and then flicked on his base with some space, but he's just having to take some time to control a bouncing ball. Into the middle it goes. Turner trying to block the run of Flett. He is going to just carry on with it for a moment, and Turner still following him. Flett will have to pass it short to Kay, and then finds Oglesby on a good overlapping run on that right-hand side. Looks to find Tomlinson, who breaks the offside track really well. Looking to find some space to pin the ball back into the 6-yard area. Lost it, looks for the far post. Charles will miss it, but then it's a bad miss from Curtis Bateson at the edge of the 6-yard area in the far end. Sends it over from the short distance out, and Cleethorpes had a good argument that they should be ahead now. Remains 0-0, 24 minutes gone. Charles and Phillips having a few words with each other after allowing Bateson that chance. But what's most important, it remains 0-0 and the Steels aren't behind. Townsend will send this long, headed away, and then Hogg will head it right back into midfield, and then head it back, but only for Hogg to get blocked, and then O'Connor tried to get a foot in, but it will be chased down by Walker on the right side. Before Lemon robs it of him. Back it will go to Townsend, who takes a good touch, and then left-footed takes it forward. Poole then head it on, but only back for Paul Walker, who will clear out looking for Josh Walker, but Oglesby intercepts and sends it long. Whereas Watson broke the offside trap here. No, he hasn't. His long-range shot goes well over anyway, but he did look well off there. Watson, who is Stocksbridge's most offside player by a distance. In the Premier League, Brentford are leading 1-0 against Luton Town. Johan Visser has scored. Luke Rawson is unhappy with the positioning of the offside free kick. I don't think Luke Rawson has got many yellow cards for fouls, but he has had a few for dissent over his time with the Steels, and he has to be careful not to do that again. Too many Stocksbridge players have been penalised for dissent this year, as Poole volleys on forward. Watson's trying to see if he can get the beat of Delican, and Delican's going to have to knock it out to the left-hand side and then chase it down himself. Watson's still trying to get hold of it. It's only cleared out to Turner, who has a good touch. Tries to find Rawson in the middle, goes out to Poole in the end. Poole looking, takes a shot, not enough power on it, and it's straight at Bottomley anyway. An easy save for the Cleethorpes keeper. 26 minutes gone, remains 0 now. All goes long, then out to the right hand side. Forward to Annan, then back to the right to Tomlinson. Through to Kay, who will try looking forward, but goes to Walker, who has to head it back to Tomlinson, and back into the middle it goes, and to Flett. Patrols and right-footed will send it out to the right. Head up into the air by Walker, but Oglesby will volley it away, but only back to Flett, who's been forced backwards a bit by some of the Steel's pressure, but then we'll find Gallimore, who's moved over to the right-hand side. Then back to Kay, then back to Gallimore on the right, and he will try and turn out of the pressure, but in the end it's tackled by Hogg and goes out for a Cleethorpes throwing. Just had an update from Rossington, Maine, where the cup final is being held for the reserves. They are losing 1-0. Well, to Caribbean Sports. So the reserves losing 1-0. Linton Lambert scored for Caribbean. Apparently, it's one of those that's going to end up in a end of season DVD and not for the right reasons. Sam Green, the reserves goalkeeper, has cleared it. It's blocked by a player and gone in. Townsend will send the ball along looking for Rawson, but headed away and then on into midfield. And Cleethorpes win it out in midfield with Flett. Sending it down that right-hand side towards Annan. Good control from him, trying to lay it off to Walker. Tried to pass it back to Annan. Annan was on the floor anyway, but Lemon intercepts no matter what. Watson now touch it onto Turner, and Turner has some space to move into on that right-hand side. Turner forced back and gives it back to Charlesworth. In the middle to Hogg. Hogg will carry it forward to Rawson, who takes touch, but then that's blocked and it's going to spill out towards Cleethorpes' right-hand side, and that's allowed Hogg to get onto the ball and knock it out to Lemon on the left-hand side. We've got some space, but as well as Poole, who's taking the position on that left wing with Watson on the right today. Turner on the ball, now find Watson on that right, and tried to find Turner again, does find him. Tried to find Watson again, he's going to find Charlesworth in this overlapping run. Not got many options. Charlesworth's going to send the cross in. It's not that dangerous and collected at the near post by Bottomley. 29 minutes gone, 0-0. Still only one goal in the Northern Premier League East after half an hour of play across the division. As Phillipson headed it under the back of the player, lost track of it. That allowed Annan to get onto it. Tried to get the ball through then, but Oglesby, and then Oglesby's lost it to Walker. Shot then straight at Townsend. A rare mistake from Charlie Oglesby. Almost let Josh Walker in there, but Josh Walker looking to curl it in, didn't get enough curl onto it, and ended up sending it right at Townsend. Hogg tried to send it over Delican then, but it's blocked, and then Hogg's given a push on Flett, and the free kick going Cleethorpes' way. With Kay, who gives it out to Annan. He just sits behind Walker for Cleethorpes now. Also the right-hand side with Tomlinson back to Annan, who tries to chip it in looking for Tomlinson. He volleys it over. Would have been a spectacular one had that gone in, but he wasn't able to get above his volley, and it ends up going well over Townsend's goal. So back with Townsend for this goal kick. And Townsend will take the short option, just gives it straight to Charlie Oglesby, who will now send it long. Sending it looking for Watson and headed away by the number 5, Paul Walker. Celtic have won in the Scottish Cup semi-final on penalties, for those who were interested in that. Lemon with a throw, throws it to O'Connor. O'Connor loses it though very quickly, and then Oglesby blocks that run out for a throw, and it goes to Cleethorpes. Waiting for a new ball, but Oglesby will now take the throw. He finds Flett in the middle, who will carry forward, gets beyond Turner. Now Cleethorpes continue with their attack through the middle with Annan, looking to get to the left-hand side of the box for Bateson, just goes outside the box, then back to Annan, who drops into space. Great tackle from Turner that stops Annan going further forward. Turner on the ball again now. Tried to send one through for Rawson. Rawson got the touch, but just knocked out for a Cleethorpes throw in their own half. So right now with a Delican for this throw-in. A long throw forward, then headed on by Walker, then another header on by Anna, but to no end in particular. So Phillips unable to clear it away. Rawson will fight for it, tries to head into a defence, but Watson's nowhere near. So back with Gallimore, who will take his time with it, and he's going to try and pick out his option. His distribution's been very good in this game so far. He's giving him a lot of space and time to try and pick out his man, but in the end it's going to bounce a bit too far for Tomlinson. Oglesby will clear it away, but into a good position in the middle. It goes for Annan, but then he's robbed by Turner for the second time in about 2 minutes. Then through to Rawson. Rawson has a man on challenging him. He finds Charles on the right, who's coming well forward. Charles continues forward, but he's going to double back into the middle to Turner, who continues forward, and he's going to go down under some pressure from Keg. Turner's appealing for a free kick. It's not going to be given. It wasn't one. Cleethorpes will come away with it through Flett, who has plenty of people shouting that they're the option he should take, but he's going to go himself, and Hogg's following him, and back it will go now for Paul Walker. Tries to find Josh Walker, but In comes Phillipson, who blocks it. He just goes out to Annan, who's drilling out for Thomas on the right. It's a great ball, and this could be the moment. Trying to find Walker in the middle, blocked by Oglesby. Lemons in the box, just about gets it away. Poole will drop deep to collect. Back to O'Connor now, who will put a pass forward in front of Charles, who moves into the middle. Into the centre circle he goes, before giving the short option back to Turner. Now to Hogg, who took over that position right back with Charles moving into the middle. Watson's got the beat in the pace of Delican. Delican stumbles. Watson will move in on the right-hand side. Into the box he goes. Onto the outside, looking to turn, looking to take the curling shot. Blocked. Peels for handball. It wasn't, to hit the chest clean in the middle. Out to left to O'Connor, who tries to get it down, and that's where the ball is lost. And back it is with Oglesby now. It's that ball a bit too high and for Oglesby to be able to get a good first touch onto it. And Phillips has not got a great clearance way onto that and just gives it back to Annan, and Annan being forced to the right gives it to Josh Walker, who got one defender bit, volleys it out to the left to looking for Bateson, but that's when it's Thomas Poole, I think, comes into defend and heads it back to Townsend. Charlie Oglesby is going to get talking to by the referee, who's not happy with something. Not particularly sure what's happened there that Charlie Oglesby is unhappy with. I think Charlie may have been cut, had some connection, then going to have to go for a change of shirt. I think is what I think has happened. Maybe some blood on shirt. Charlie Oglesby usually in the wards. He's, I think, at least once or twice had to come out sporting the Terry Butcher look. But now the Steels will have to be without Oglesby, who's been a key defender for Oglesby. So he gets some treatment on the sidelines. I don't do particularly keen on. We do have some goals in the Northern Premier League East now. Pontefract leading 1-0 against Grimsby Borough. Connor Smythe off his Sky Sports featured goal, from his own half. He scored what I'm going to guess is a more normal goal against Grimsby Borough. They're 1-0 up there. Ossett are winning 1-0 against Bridlington. That's a big goal in the relegation battle. That might be enough to keep Ossett up. Whereas Hebburn are now 2-0 up on Belper. Plungers Brighouse into more trouble at the very least, that goal. Because Ossett will move up to 17th. Back with Lemon now, this throw in, and Charlie Oglesby has returned to the pitch. Adam Watson scored the Ossett goal, and Dean Briggs the Hebburn goal for. Goes down the line, and Rawson wins that on the left wing. Try to then get past Gallimore, but well tackled, blocked. It's a throw for the Steels on this left hand side. Barra 1-0 up on Doncaster. Aqua has scored for the Cumbrian side. Left hand side, Lemon puts across in. Rawson tries to flick it on. Turner in the near post. Is that going to be on the line? No, I don't believe it has. It's a great save from Bottomley just before it could be touched in by Jack Watson at about a few yards out. Great save from the goalkeeper, and I think an offside or free kick was given anyway for this. The offside flag up, can't see the linesman as he goes down there, so it wouldn't have counted even if it did head up, but Ben Bottomley can be proud of his work stopping that going in anyway. Watson offside again. Ball goes forward too. But Lemon will watch it out and be a Stocksbridge throw-in. Lemon takes his throw, will send it very long, and then I think it's going to end up trickling out, but it actually kept in well by Paul Walker, who will send it long, and Hogg tries to break onto it, does get the touch onto it, and going to carry on with Hogg before he does eventually lose it, and it's now with Bateson deep in his own area, back to Delican, who will send it long. Great pass does find Will Annan, who takes a bit of time to control it, but then his short pass is intercepted by Turner, and this could be an opportunity for the Steels if they play it right. Poole now on the middle, gets it through to Watson, who's going to look to find Charlesworth on the right-hand side. Charlesworth tries to put the crest in, key block of Delican. Corner for the Steels. It's their first corner of the game. Caribbean Sports almost doubled their lead in the Reserves Cup fight. No. Linton Labbert, who scored that first goal, has hit it against the bar. In the Premier League, Sheffield United are losing to Burnley. Jacob Brun-Larsen has scored for the Clarets in the El Robichico. As Charlesworth puts the cross in, looking for that far post. Well claimed by Bottomley. Had to do so. Turner was waiting behind him. Some more goals to tell about as well in the Northern Premier League East. Dunstone are leading 1-0 against Winterton. Luke Carr, the goal scorer. Hebburn are now leading 3-0 against Belper. As scores stand, Winterton Rangers will be relegated today. Flett will carry the ball in, trying to switch it out to the right-hand side. Has Tomlinson beat the offside flag there? He has, but he can't get it under control. Ends up heading it out of play for throwing to the Steels. 38 minutes gone. It's 0-0 here. Carlton are leading 1-0 against Consett. Alex Hardwick has scored. Throw down line looking for Watson. Well in from him, but he's going to end up going down injured after that quite heavy challenge with Paul Walker. Walker just went in in a physical bit of battle. I don't think there was any malice or any real foul on it. Just needed to be stopped due to what looks actually quite like serious injury. And Richards went out instantly. Looking at it. Just watching him as he is going to get up now, so he should actually be all right, which is good news. Looks up. Curtis Turner is now the one who's going to have to change his shirt over on the sideline. So Curtis Turner must have had a blood on the shirt, which is one of the reasons why they do change it. There's probably some other obscure reasons I'm not aware of, but I'm sure some of our female fans will be very pleased with that. I'll go along to the right side for Cleethorpes. Well won by Josh Walker. Looking to find Annan in the middle. That's big from Phillips to clear it away. Goes to Flett, who's going for the volley, but completely miscues it and doesn't even get the shot off in the end. And then Kay trying to recycle it into just kicking out of play for a Steel's throw-in. Burnley are now 2-0 up on Sheffield United. Assignon has scored for the Clarets. Throwing downline, Rawson will head it on to Watson, who looks to turn, hasn't got an option, so Karen himself has to get it backwards to Turner. Turner will now get it over to the right to Charlesworth, who's been Stocksbridge's best attacking player, which is probably not the greatest compliment considering he's a right back. Charlesworth with a 1-2 and then just can't find the next man with O'Connor that he was looking for, intercepted by Kay. Gives it back now to Bateson. Bateson will send it long over the top, just going to drop into the box, and that allows Townsend to come and claim it. I believe there might be another goal coming in soon, but we will update when we get that. Poole heads it down to Lemon, just touches it over for Tomlinson as O'Connor be forced back, and then gives it to Lemon, who's able to carry it forward. Lemon goes horizontal now and will switch play over to Charlesworth, but might just fall a bit short. But Charlesworth reads that really well, comes in and collects it, gets it through to Turner. Then Turner will get it to the right wing to Watson, who's now faced with Delican, who's had some good opportunities against so far. Watson will send the cross over, but it's well over anyone and goes out for the goal kick. Yeah, big goal in that relegation battle is that Bridlington have equalised against Ossett. Glenn Sani has scored it. But this doesn't change anything for Winterton. They would still be relegated as results stand. 41 minutes gone. And it's 0-0 out here at the My Energy Stadium. Bottomley will send it long here. Exeter will knock it further on, but going to control well by Gallimore, who tries to find the middle and on by Kay. Turner goes in late on Kay, though, and it will be a free kick to Cleethorpes. Turner's going to get a bit of a talking to from the referee. Don't think that'll be a yellow card. But we've seen that one's given from time to time, so you can have a write it off. Out in the defence it goes now. as they look to switch it towards Walker over the top, but then Walker's just pulled back on Oglesby a bit. Free kick for the Steels on the edge of their own area. Can't say this one's been a thriller in the first half. It's been a bit better than our game against Bridlington last week, as in we have seen things get close to the goal and teams actually try to attack, but nothing really to excite the fans who come here just yet. Townsend sending it along. Adelican will head it away to Bateson, who heads it further on, but Charles will hit it right back there before Bateson volleys it really high into the air. And so for Poole, who tries to find Rawson, doesn't get enough on it, easily intercepted by Gallimore, gets it to Thomas on the right, back to Oglesby, who is charged into by Poole. It will be a throw in to Cleethorpes on the right hand side. Big throw down that right hand side that he's headed on and into the middle, crawled down by Tomlinson, but Turner wins it off him back to Poole, who sends it over the top. Look for also appeals for an offside, and he will be given. On that one, I'm a bit more unsure of, but I'm going to get the linesman in a better position than I am. So, well, the lines person down there, Megan Wilson today, and Matthew Madison, our other assistant referees. The official terminology is now, and James Cliff, our referee today. 44 minutes gone, remains 0-0. Ball goes long before Phillipson clears away into central defence. It goes, and not long by Walker into right side, but then Steele's clear that to Hogg, and then through to Poole it goes, who tries to get beyond his man, stumbles and goes down and gets the free kick from Oglesby. No bookings in this game yet. I'm afraid to take this free kick. Josh Walker's standing there to make sure he doesn't take it quickly, but Lemon, with the biggest waste of a free kick you'll probably see, he just boots that one out for a goal kick. No idea what Jordan Lemon was thinking on that occasion. So with Bottomley now it goes as we get closer to half time. We are in the Adam minutes half time. I've not seen the board go up. Sure, we'll see it soon as Bottomley will send this one long. Oglesby heads it away to O'Connor, who flicks it over the top. Rawson going to try and see if he can beat his man here. Rawson will get the first touches on the left-hand side. He's having to try and control it, force it back, but he can't get proper control of it. In the end, it goes out, and that will be the end of the half. So it's 0-0 here between Cleethorpes Town and Stocksbridge Park Steels. As I said before, it's a bit better than the 0-0 we had against Bridlington last week, but we've seen the ball go close to goal than we saw that time, but neither side's really made many big chances of note. And really, it's not the most exciting match. A typical end of the season affair so far. It's a 0-0 between Stocksbridge Park Steels and Cleethorpes Town. I've been your commentator, Adam Allcroft. We're sponsored by Jason Rawson, Carpet Fitter Supplier. We will see you in 15 minutes for the second half. Hello and welcome back to the My Energy Stadium for the second half of Cleethorpes Town versus Stocksbridge Park Steels. I'm your commentator, Adam Allcroft. We're sponsored by Jason Rawson, Carpet, Fitter and Supplier. Well, it's 0-0 here. It wasn't the most thrilling of first half. It's better than it was last week, but still not exactly anything too thrilling. Most importantly, just before the end of the first half over in Rossington, where that cup final is being held, the reserves have equalised through John Hennessy. So it's 1-1 between Stocksbridge Park Steels Reserves and Caribbean Sports. Right now here in Cleethorpes by the coast, Thomas Poole's ready to get us underway for the second half. So just waiting for our checks, and here we go. So the Steels get us back underway in the all-red kit, kicking from right to left, while it's Cleethorpes in the black and blue striped shirt, blue shorts and blue socks, kicking from left to right. The teams are as follows. So for Cleethorpes, it's Ben Bottomley in goal, then John Oglesby, AJ Adelican, Sam Kay, Paul Walker, Dan Gallimore, Harvey Tomlinson, Alex Flett, Josh Walker, Will Annan, and Curtis Bateson. No changes at the break. Their bench is Harley Thompson, Tim Lowe, Liam Dickens, Max Adamson, James McCown, two members of the coaching staff on the bench today for Cleethorpes, as Stocksbridge just misplaced a pass, and that stopped their attempts at an attack. And Stocksbridge give away the free kick to Cleethorpes. So for Stocksbridge, it's no changes for them either. Ben Townsend in goal, then Tom Charlesworth, Jordan Lemon, Luke Hogg, Charlie Oglesby, Alex Phillipson, Curtis Turner, who has the captain's armband, Alex O'Connor, Luke Rawson, Thomas Poole, and Jack Watson. The bench is Bailey Ty Baker, Jack Dolman, Oliver Novak, Tommy Marshall, and Andy Ring. Plenty of attacking options on that bench for the Steels to try and liven things up. As a barrel bounce off, Lemon clears it to the edge of the area, which thankfully Phillipson picks up, passes it out to O'Connor, touched on to Poole, tries to send it forward, but it's just going to go back for Paul Walker, who will look to get it towards the left-hand side, but intercepted by Hogg, carries it forward, lays it off for Turner. Turner will try and send it down the right-hand side, looking for Rawson, who fights with it here on that right wing, gets on that outside. He's going to have to wrestle with Walker, and Rawson has just about kept it in here. Good work from him, but that fight continues, and then he gets the cross blocked by Walker, and it's a corner kick very early on in this second half for the Steels. Also, something else happened before the end of the first half is that Pontefract 2-0 up on Grimsby Borough. Frankie Sinfield has scored, and Liversidge are down to 10 men. Dan Hartley been sent off there at home to Ashington today. So Thomas Poole with this corner kick. Likes it of Luke Rawson, Charlie Oglesby the main targets, and he's looking for Charlie Oglesby, but he's going to end up going out to the box. Oglesby heads it back in. Phillipson heads it back into the box. Watson's trying to turn around, gives it back to Oglesby, but he can't get control of it, and his touch ends up trickling out for a goal kick. 47 minutes gone in this game. It remains 0-0. So back now with Bottomley for this goal kick. Sends it long now, but headed away by Charlesworth, headed back by Flett, and then out for a throw-in for Stocksbridge. Big throw from Charlesworth down the line. Rawson tries to get a touch on it, but it's well won by Paul Walker. Gets out to Bateson, who can't get a good touch on it, and it's a throw-in back, almost identical place to where it was beforehand. Charlesworth, I think that might have been a foul throw from Charlesworth, to be honest, but it's not been penalised, as Rawson will try and find O'Connor down the line, but it won't stay in, so Cleethorpes get the ball back with a throw-in. Some big attendances in the Northern Premier League today. Stockton at home to Brighouse have got 1,200 in. I think at one point they thought that might have been their crowning day. Instead, it might be Heburn's crowning day, especially if Brighouse do accept Stockton there today, as Cleethorpes taking long. Oglesby heads it away. Charlesworth keeps it in, but he's only forced backwards and booted away, but it is going to be given as Stocksbridge's ball here. This game starts to get away, but yeah, Hebburn, as they could be their crowning day today. They got 600 in, you got 300 in at Bridlington and Pontefract, 200 in over at Liversidge, so they have had 1,000+ crowds in the past when they were winning this league 2 years ago. Charlesworth sends it a quick one out to Poole on the right hand side. He's on the right wing at the moment, tackling with Delicanas. Back to Charles, then back to Turner, who's forced backwards. Got 3 Cleethorpes men around him. And in the end, he can only pass it out for a throw in to Cleethorpes. Delican will throw this long, headed up into the air by Phillipson, and then Turner will head it back into midfield. O'Connor touch it on for Rawson, but it's knocked away by Gallimore, but only back to Turner. Turner lays it off for Hogg to run onto on that right-hand side to Watson, who's back to the right wing now. Moves inside, will try and find the overlap, but the pass is off target and blocked and intercepted. But then Watson's going to win it back, gets it to Rawson here, who turns and gets to the right wing, lays off for Charles, who slows it down. Back to Watson. Ben Townsend is shouting, get it into the box from out there as Watson tries to run into it. Tries to put crossing, blocked by Delican, loses track of it before Paul Walker heads it away and he gets it to the other Walker. And then lays off really well for Annan, and the counter attack might be on here. Annan trying to find Tomlinson with the pass. That's well intercepted by Lemon, who will pass it out short to Hogg. Try to get it over to right side, but that's been blocked by Bateson. It's a throw-in for Stocksbridge. 50 minutes gone, and it's 0-0 here. Back with Charles for this throw, about 20 yards into Stocksbridge's own half. On throw down, Rawson goes down under pressure, and he will get a free kick for that just inside the Cleethorpes half, and it's the sort of game where I suspect that Stocksbridge might try and see this as an opportunity to get the ball into the box. Because it's not exactly been a thrilling game full of lots of chances, you might have to take what you can get. Blackpool are now 3-0 up on Barnsley. Hayden Coulson has scored the latest goal for Blackpool. Charles will take it short to Poole. And then we'll look to get it to Turner, but Delican's read that, gets it away from him. Turner on the ground trying to get onto it, but all he can get is a bit of an ankle of Bateson, and it's a free kick to the home side, who look to take it quickly, looking for Tomlinson, but Phillipson heads it away. Charles keeps it in and volleys it into the middle. Poole try to get control of it, but instead he goes over and Paul Walker gets touch, clears it away, and Phillipson is going to head that right back. Hogg will head it forward to Turner. Turner will carry it forward on the right-hand side, and he's going to send it over the top, which Rawson has met him on that right wing, trying to get beyond his man and trying to put the cross in blocks. He's going to have a second chance to try and get onto it, but that's been well read by the Cleethorpes defender, who's able to pass it out to trouble. But then it's all about the Ogilvie, who takes a touch, and he's going to take a shot, carry it forward. Finds Poole on the left, little touch to O'Connor, but then it's in from Cleethorpes, who knock it off O'Connor for the throw-in to Cleethorpes. Throwing into the middle now, and carry forward by Annan, who tries to send it down that right wing, and it's going to be a battle between Lemon and Walker. And Walker's won that battle, sends it down the right, but then well blocked by Phillipson, who clears it away. Hey, well won though by John Oglesby, who tries to send the pass down the right, intercepted by O'Connor. Back with Lemon, who is robbed the ball Van Walker again. And now it's back with Cleethorpes, with Annan, who does a 1-2 and gets it back. Annan will get it out to the right to Tomlinson, and then back it will go to K. Now to Oglesby, who pushes forward and into the middle to Tomlinson, who moves inside, and back it goes now to Flett. Tried to get it through to Bateson, but his touch is not the greatest. Phillipson in and clears that away, but only back to Paul Walker. Watson tries to win it off him, does get a bit of a touch onto it, but Walker comes out with it and gives it to a Delican on the left. Delican will get the 1-2 back, but he's going to stumble a bit and the pressure, but in the end it just goes back now to Flett. Steele having a few bites of the cherry to get the ball away and have not done so. Can Cleethorpes punish it for him as they go down the left-hand side? Bateson tries the cross in, blocked by Charlesworth. Charlesworth will pass it back to Phillipson, who just boots that one away. Watson trying to hold the bouncing ball down, and Delican will just head it away, but only to O'Connor. O'Connor tries to get it to the left. Poole has to chase it down. He goes behind him. Poole stumbles a bit as he does do so, and has to get back to Lemon now, who is trying not to get robbed for the third time in a row. And in the end, he ends up getting away a throw-in. Lemon's having a bit of a struggle over in that left-back position. Sheffield United have got one back against Burnley. Gustavo Harmer has scored for the Blades as Cleethorpes trying to get through, and it's Annan who went down a bit acrobatically, though he did get a touch on him, so could have been a free kick. As Hogg has the ball back to Poole to shut into O'Connor, and Cleethorpes have really penned the Steels in at the moment. And Stocksbridge are trying to pass the way out of it, but they just can't do so. Oh, back to Phillipson now, and Phillipson is just going to send that long. I think probably the best option with Cleethorpes pressing working well. Delican wins that ball though. Really good passage of play from Cleethorpes at the moment as Fleck goes forward. Fleck's been urged to shoot by the crowd. He says he's going to pass it to Annan. Annan won't need any urging, but he passes it to the right now to Tomlinson, who cuts in, takes a shot. It's a good looking shot, not too far off. Goal kick. Cleethorpes having a really good pass play. What's most impressive is the way they've been able to pen steals in their own half and prevent Stocksbridge from passing out from the back. And we'll have to adjust the way they're playing if they want to get more attacking opportunities in the second half. 54 minutes gone, remains 0-0. So Winterton have equalised against Dunstan. That means they, as a result, Sam, they will stay up for another day. Carlton are 2-0 up on Consett. Niall Hilton has scored to double their lead, and Pontefract are 3-0 up on Grimsby Borough. Hayden Linley, Cleethorpes here, rivals of Grimsby Borough, play the El Hadico every year. And it's just Cleethorpes on the attacking, and Tomlinson does get the header, but not enough onto it, and just goes back to Townsend. Pontefract are now 4-0 up on Grimsby Borough. Connor Smythe has scored his second. Stocksbridge tried to ping the ball out, but they ended up just putting it out to play again. Stocksbridge having this really poor passage of play at the moment that Cleethorpes will look to punish. Bateson down the left-hand side, puts it into the middle, tries to find Annan, but it's O'Connor with the defensive work who takes it away and gets it to Poole. Poole here, trying to get under pressure, has to pass it back to Oglesby, puts it back to Hogg, and Stocksbridge under pressure as Hogg just spins it out towards Watson. It's over his head, though, and Adelican's going to watch that now. It's a ghost for a throw, and it's in Cleethorpes' half, but it's not exactly a confident way of getting it out. Thrown down the way and then head away by Phillipson. Turner tries to touch it away, but then Adelican will just boot it right back. Phillipson can only head it up into the air. O'Connor trying to get it away, but he can only get it back to Kay, and Kay's in the box on the left-hand side, puts the cross in, blocked by O'Connor. Back now it goes to Bateson on the left-hand side. He's been forced back. Right-footed will put a lofted cross in, headed away by Lemon, and Poole will pass it back to O'Connor, who then pass it back to Poole. There's a counter-attack opportunity. Turner coming forward with the ball now, crosses the halfway line. Cleethorpes have got quite a few men back now as he gets it to Watson, who will try and get up to some speed before taking on Adelican. Trying to get on the right-hand side, gets past Adelican, puts the cross in. Rawson takes a touch, and somehow from inside the 6-yard area, lofts it wide of the post. That should be 1-0 to the Steels on the counter. Rawson, who is looking for to get to 20 goals, he's on 18 right now. That was the perfect opportunity to get 19. He just can't get a clean finish onto it. And they will have to live. The physio will have to come on as Jordan Lemon is down and struggling. Moment could see Bailey Tyne Baker come on shortly if he can't continue. Then that physio Liv, who replaced Sam Ewins this season and already well accustomed to the club. So trying to look at seeing what the league table looks like at the moment. So as things stand, Hebburn are currently still leading the table. They've got that game in hand which could secure their promotion this week. Then in the playoffs it's as follows: Stockton that's in second, Dunstan in third, Pontefract fourth, and Carlton fifth. Looks like we are going to see substitutes. It's going to be Jack Dolman heading on for Jordan Lemon, who will have to go off with the knock he's picked up. Blow for Lemon, but perhaps showing some signs before he was struggling giving the ball away a few times, and now Dolman will come in to replace him. 58 minutes gone, and the first sub of the game is preparing to come on. Just make sure to see, and he is now. That is him heading on right now. So Stocksbridge in the first room, Jack Dolman, who will offer more in attack than Lemon does, so might actually make this game more interesting. Well, big goal in that promotion battle. Stockton Town have taken the lead against Brighouse. Glenn Butterworth has scored. As Dolman loses the ball there to the number 7, Harvey Tomlinson, but can't get a clean hit onto it and just sends it right at Townsend. Norwich City have equalised against Bristol City. Signs the goal scorer for the Canaries. Townsend will send the ball along, looking for Rawson, who missed that big chance. Heads it on, but no one's there for it. Gallimore will just pass it back to Bottomley. No one is going to press Bottomley. That tactic's not been activated for the Steels just yet. Sent long and all the way long before Charles will head it up into the end, and second header get it out to Hogg. Hogg will then send it towards the right hand side. Watson's going to fight to keep it in, but in the end it'll just go out. It'll be a throw that Adelican will quickly take. Out to the left hand side to Bateson, appeals for an offside, and those appeals are heard. It's a free kick to Stocksbridge. Liversidge are 1-0 for Ashington despite being down to 10 men. Alfie Raw has scored from the spot. Grantham have the games in hand on Ossett and Brighouse and could take them on Monday and Thursday when their next games are. They don't play today. Ball forward from Townsend, but it's just going to go straight out. Stocksbridge are just gifting possession away to Cleethorpes at the moment, and we're lucky Cleethorpes haven't punished us. But Adelican, big long throw, finds Walker really well. Into the middle it goes now, and then over to Kay, who heavy touch. O'Connor tries to go in, bit of a high foot from O'Connor, but he wins out the ball. Turner will find Rawson. Rawson out to the left to Poole, and Poole's sent one over for Watson to try and chase, and Watson will get on the right hand side, trying to double back, but Adelican's done enough to stop Watson from getting past him. Cleared it out now to Bateson, touching from Charles. I think he's out for a Cleethorpes throw-in. Out for Adelican for this throw now. Big long throw from him, and Hogg will head it back to Watson, who tries to head it on, but he only heads it back to Adelican. Volleys it out towards that right wing, but Dorman steps in. Now Dorman is going to look to get up to full speed. He's got some pace on in the left back, but he is stopped by a standing John Oglesby, and he's lofted one over the top that Townsend will come and claim before Josh Walker can latch onto it. Carlton have made it 2-0 against Consett. And it is Niall Hilton again who's scored. Oglesby gets through to Poole, comes off his ankle, and then a little trickery as he gives it back to Oglesby. Oglesby's going to left foot to send it long. No one's there for it, so it's a pointless ball, really, and it's just going to be back now with Gallimore, who will pass it back to Bottomley, and Rawson will press him, and not too far off, so it goes back to Gallimore. Stocksbridge look like they are going to try and use the press a bit more often as we get to the last half hour of this game. Ball goes long, Dorman trying to get Tucker's touch, and he does do so, trying to carry it away now, and will get it forward to Turner, finds him with a good pass. Turner under some pressure, escapes it, now going down the left-hand side, has Dorman as an option on the left, goes through to Rawson. Rawson will find Dorman, who has a poor touch, just about keeps it in, but in the end it's just going to go back to Oglesby, who then Turner charges down, Oglesby blocks it, and it goes down for a goal kick. 62 minutes gone, remains 0-0 here. So back with Bottomley now for this goal kicking. This not great game, to be honest. Here comes the long ball forward from the Cleethorpes keeper. Send it long, and maybe it just be battered about in the middle. Hogg tries to get it out to O'Connor, who gets it to Poole, who's got a bit of space to move into. Poole, he's just slowing it down though. He's trying to find an option. Poole then moved into the middle, back to Hogg. Hogg will look to get it over to Charlesworth on the right wing, the left ball. Charlesworth makes a good touch here. Here he's going to face up with Adelican, but then finds Turner. Turner tries to go through, well blocked by Bateson, helping out Adelican in defence. And now it's with Tomlinson to Adelican, now to Bateson again. Puts it into the middle. Been run on by Kay, who's going to find Annan over on the right wing. Kay's offering himself as an option on the right, but Annan's going to take it into the middle. Annan runs into the box. He's on the right-hand side, but he takes too heavy a touch at the last moment, and it goes out for a goal kick. One of Cleethorpes' most exciting players, Will Annan, scored that big goal that put Cleethorpes into the 1-0 lead against us, and the win in the end in that FA Cup match at the start of August. Tried to cause the problem and be the danger, but couldn't get the goal kick. Doncaster Rovers have got one back against Barrow. Joe Ironside has scored from the spot. As Rawson keeps it in there, and no, doesn't keep it in, actually, the linesman says otherwise. Ball thrown down the middle, but blocked by Hogg. O'Connor takes the touch and just about keeps it in, but only gives it back to Oglesby with that, who's looks to switch play over to Bate. Heads it away though to Turner, who will spread out to right side that Charles is going to run onto. Can Stocksbridge start a counter attack? Gets it through to Watson, but Adelican blocks it well, and he's going to carry on himself. Puts it into the middle. Hogg tries to intercept, but instead Tomlinson is moving more into the centre in this second half. He's going to go, and then it's a great 1-2 down to Bates on the left hand side, looking for his cross. Puts the cross in, but Oglesby will just clear it away out to Charles on the right now, out to Turner. Heavy touch from him. Goes back to Charlesworth. Won't matter because Turner was bundled into, and it will be a free kick. 64 minutes gone, remains 0-0. So back now with Townsend to take this. We'll send it long, and he's going to stay in play, which is better from some of his recent kicks. Ralston heads it on to Watson, who looks to control and then loses out. Make sure Adelican and for a Stocksbridge throw in now. And we have some good news from Rossington Main. Stocksbridge Park Steel Reserves are leading 2-1 against Caribbean Sports. Matty Lee has come on. Charlesworth, I think there was a foul throw from Charlesworth there as he gets it back from the 1-2. Low cross goes into Turner. Turner volleys it. Well safe from Bottomley. Does really well to make sure he doesn't spill it to Thomas Poole waiting. That's probably the best save of the game so far. Not just because of the quick reflexes from that very tight angle shot from Curtis Turner, but it's the keeping the bouncing ball away from Thomas Poole, who was waiting for a goal poacher's finish. As the ball just bounced off a couple of stock players for going now over to the right hand side for Will Annan. Tries to move inside onto the right now for Tomlinson. To Kay. Isn't it now back to Oglesby. Left footed, will try to put the ball into the box. Looking for Tomlinson, but then Dolman gets it and Hogg will clear it out. Goes over Poole's head though, and it will be a throw in. Oglesby throws it into the middle, intercepted though by Hogg. Hogg will try to carry it away and then back to O'Connor, who slices it out for another Cleethorpes throw in. Stocksbridge have cut it down recently, but still giving away the ball and possession in daft moments. Pontefract are 5-0 up on Grimsby Borough. Jack Boyle has scored. But there is a Cleethorpes player down at the moment. Just concerning news for the Owls. So there will be a Cleethorpes substitute with this. Looks like heading off will be at the captain, Alex Flett. And I believe that was the... Didn't catch which number which is coming on. Flett coming off now. And the man heading on is number 16, Max Adamson. So both teams have now used one substitute, as Cleethorpes also looking to win this one as it goes back now to Oglesby, puts a ball in, high lofted one, and Townsend will claim it without much pressure on him. Townsend taking his time with it now. 68 minutes gone, 22 minutes for either team to try and get a winner as Rawson tries to head it on, but it's headed back away and Thompson miss kicks and it will go to Dolman. Try to get it short to Hogg. Rawson's going to try and keep it in because it went through Hogg's legs. Rawson can't keep it in though, will be a Cleethorpes throw-in. Stocksbridge just been loose and quite poor in possession as Walker's quite a high foot and he will get penalised for the high foot. Stockton are now 2-0 up on Brighouse. That actually matches their goal difference with Ossett United, and that goal difference could become crucial at the end of the year. Brentford are 3-0 up on Luton Town. Ethan Pinnock has scored. So back with Townsend now for this ball. Will be sent long. Headed away by Delican and all the way through now to Kay, who's not one long, but no one will be there for it. Back with Townsend now, who will roll it out in front of him. See Max Addison's taking up position in the right wing. Poor one from Townsend, well robbed by Oglesby. Puts the ball into the middle and Phillipson intercepts though, and Phillipson's going to go on an adventure on his own, carry it on. Tries to get to the left to Watson, goes through Watson. O'Connor though will keep this in and keep this Stocksbridge attack going now. Or maybe just get it going. Back to Turner now. Forced out to the left to O'Connor. Not got really any options. He has to get it back to Turner. Right-footed ball into the middle. Rawson will collect it, but he comes in from an offside position. Rawson's won. I believe that is because, even though it took a touch off the Cleethorpes player, because the ball that caused him to have the touch and it went to pass that from the Cleethorpes player, that's why it's still offside. And the referee is having to give Luke Rawson a point as to what the offside rule actually is. I wonder if you did one of these polls of football players, like if the PFA did it, how many footballers would actually get like an exam on the offside rule correct? Because there are some weird quirks to it. If you ever look, you have to look at the referee's exam. You look at some really daft things they have to know, just for the one eventuality it happens in a year. Curtis Basin tries to get the beat in Charlesworth, but Charlesworth tackles and clears it out for a throw-in. We've entered the 70th minute as Brentford are now 4-0 up on Luton. Keane Lewis Potter has scored. Now with a Delican who's going to bring out the long throw now as we're in the last 20 minutes of this match. But he's been forced further back. Big long throw goes in, but Turner will look to intercept. Appeals for a handball from the Cleethorpes player. Hogg will now head away that second cross in, and then Poole will head it away. And Dolman's rushing to get onto it. He won't do so, though. It's back with Kay now to Annan, who's been forced back. Townsend shouting organisation in defence as it goes to the right-hand side, then back to Annan again. Then to Kay, and then back to Annan, who is trying to orchestrate something. And then it's an off-key pass that goes out for a throw-in. So Stocksbridge will get the ball back with this. Cleethorpes have got it back from the throw-in, but Oglesby heads that full throw-in. Falls right now to Bateson, tries to get the beat to his man, he's tackled, and Hogg has it back to Dolman. His clearance is charged down, but it will end up spinning towards Townsend, who quickly throws it out to Charlesworth. Chests it down, forced backwards with that touch though, and into the middle, but Bateson wins it well. That Stocksbridge into a bit of trouble here, as it's down with Kay, now to Bateson on the left-hand side, back with Kay, who has now slowed it down again. Delican's an option on his left. Back to Annan, who's dropped into his quite deep position to try and see if he can create something from there. Cleethorpes have had the better, the second half, more possession at the very least, but haven't really made anything of it. Steele's had the biggest chance. Luke Rawson missing that one from close range as Oglesby will try to win a physical battle with Tomlinson, but just been robbed of it by Adamson. Adamson cuts in, takes a shot, blocked, and then Hogg will come away with it. Hogg gets it short now to Watson, who's going to go down under pressure and get the free kick from Oglesby's. I think high arm from Oglesby is what that's been given for. Burnley are now 4-1 up on Sheffield United. Joanne Goodmanson has scored. I think it was that 4-0 Burnley beat against Sheffield United, which has caused Paul Heckingbottom to be sacked. I wonder if the same might happen to Chris Wilder now. Townsend will send it long. Headed away by Walker, and then people trying to get forward, but Dolman gets touched into the middle. Hogg flicks it on. Head away by Oglesby. Turner will like fight for it, but he will get it forward. But Rawson tries to get the touch off, but Cleethorpes will get possession, and Gallimore clears it away. Looking for Adamson, but head away by Dolman, and it's got a bit clumsy over that left-hand side. O'Connor's on it, though, and then Hogg turns away and quite smartly gives it back to Dolman. Dolman through to Rawson, but pass is intercepted by Gallimore. Comes into the field and passes it over to Kay. Kay's going to come forward with it. Over to the left-hand side. Slime shacker from Charlesworth. Poole trying to get into the middle to Turner. Got a bit frayed this game at the moment as O'Connor comes forward with it. Lays it off to Watson, who's a poor touch and goes out for a throw-in, and Watson puts his hand to his face in annoyance at that one. Back with Oglesby for this throw. 74 minutes, remains 0-0. Stocksbridge on the way, right now on the way to their second 0-0 in a row. The streaks we've had a couple of times this season. As Charles takes the touch through to Poole, then back to Charles. It's a lovely touch, and Charles will have some space. He's going to try and ping it over to O'Connor on the left, but not the quickest pass. It's allowed Adamson to get back into a defensive position, and there's a lot of Cleethorpes players back as Dorman tries to put the ball in, but it's too far away from any attacker, and it's in Bottomley's arms, who is going to now quickly get it out towards the number 9 Walker, who's got it well on that left wing, face up with Phillipson. Lays it off now to Bateson. Heavy touch, tries to get in, but well in from Phillipson. Will be a corner kick to the Owls. Big goal in that relegation battle in the Championship is that Swansea City are leading 1-0 against Huddersfield Town. That is helping out the other Owls, Sheffield Wednesday. The one's a bit more local to us. But there's Deals here will have to defend from those other Owls now. Loft the ball into the box. Rawson's the one who heads it away, goes over towards Stocksbridge's own left-hand side. Hog on to it first. Clears it off Annan and gets the throw in the Steel's way. Stockton are now 3-0 up on Brighouse. Michael Fowler has scored and Seal with Stockton. Hebburn will not be promoted today. At the moment, Winston won't be relegated today. We'll all be decided on these games in hand and perhaps the last day. The ball's pinged forward by Cleethorpes, knocked down to Adamson, who's looking to get the space, but then he's put balls blocked by Turner. Headway goes all the way back to a Delican. Says Cleethorpes with all the ball and the possession at the moment, but they've not been able to crack the Steel's defence just yet. But you'd have to say they deserve it if they did. Poole is on the win, and then it's robbed there by Charlesworth. No foul given as Turner passes it out to O'Connor. Can the counter attack work for the Steels? Coming out towards Watson. Watson on the left-hand side, cutting in. Watson's looking at the shot. He's going to take the shot near post, easily saved by Bottomley. Well, so now back in Bottomley's arms. Just Watson going for the near post there, and I don't think it was the right option. It looks like we will see a substitute coming on for Stocksbridge, and it almost falls right for Adamson on the edge of the area. Charlesworth just gets the clearance away. Turner heads it out into the midfield for Annan. Perhaps I think Annan might just need to be in a bit more advanced position for Cleethorpes, to be honest. As it goes out to Adamson on the right wing. It's Tommy Marshall, who looks like he's going to be coming on for the Steel soon. As the ball's lofted on the top for Adamson to fight for. Adamson gets a touch, shoved over from Dolman, and I'm very surprised that wasn't a free kick. The Steels have got away with one on that occasion, as Dolman just gave Adamson a big old shove in the back. So looks like the Steels will make the substitute. Looks like Tommy Marshall will be coming on with Luke Rawson, the Steels' leading scorer, heading off.
Yeah, he does good.
So Rawson will head off. Tommy Marshall, who scored his first goal a couple of weeks ago against Consett. He's the one who Ian Richards is entrusting to getting the winner in this game too. Thomas Poole has moved into centre forward, as he did a bit during last season, and Marshall will take his place on the right. Ball's going long towards Poole, but it's headed away by Gallimore. There's a big goal in that relegation battle to tell you about shortly, as Annan will get it towards the left-hand side, towards Walker. Walker take a good touch, trying to get beyond Phillipson. It's a great tackle from Alex Phillipson, and he will now clear it out. Looking for Marshall, but it goes beyond him, and Cleethorpes get it back at Delican, but he's been tackled by Marshall, and then Delican goes back in with a tackle, comes off Marshall and back into defence. Marshall continues to harass, and it's just back in Cleethorpes' hands. They're trying to pass it around their own defence at the moment, as Delican will try and clear it away, and in the end it goes out for a Steel's throw. So that big goal to the relegation battle. Ossett are leading against Bridlington 2-1. Adam Priestley has scored. Also, Kwame Boateng has scored for Liverpool today, 2-0 against Ashington. That's despite being down to 10 men. Ashington's end of the season is not going particularly well for them. At the moment, if this result stands, And I think Stocksbridge wouldn't be able to move from 15th, really. As Marshall has it on the right-hand side. Back to Turner, who continues down that right-hand side. He's blocked off, and the Steels get a free kick. And this is a dangerous one for the Steels. Free kick just beyond the corner of the penalty box on that right wing. Thomas Poole will get a chance to swing a ball in here. He is the set-piece specialist. I think his deliveries have been quite poor over the last few weeks, to be honest, especially because Luke Hogg's corners worked really well against Grimsby Borough. But I think it's this sort of set-piece he tends to specialise in, whipping it in towards that edge of that 6-yard area for the likes of Turner, Oglesby and Marshall, who are all getting shoved around. They're almost in like a line, the Cleethorpes and Stocksbridge players, a bit like the conga, to be honest, at the moment in the box. And Poole will put it in. He's going towards the near post, and for all my build-up, it was actually a really poor free kick in the end. And Charles have tried to put the ball away, blocked by Delican, and out it'll go for a Steels throw. Good. Rossington Main, the reserves are leading 3-1 in their cup final. Cartledge has scored. The Steels have got one hand on the Saturday Cup trophy. As Basin will send it long, looking for Addison. I thought there was a handball there, but not given in the end. Oglesby gets in and clears it out towards Hogg. There were no appeals for the handball, so I'm going to go with that. But it's out for Charles from the right, who turns away from the pressure, gets to Hogg, who sends it long. Poole will try and chase it, but it's been chested away by Gallimore to a Delican, who boots it out, stops in its tracks by Hogg. Over to O'Connor now on the left, who will give it out to Watson. Watson facing up, will put in on that right-hand side, trying to get in, evades a foot, he's going to stumble down, go down, and it's not going to be a penalty there, to be honest. He should have gone earlier, and he went down too acrobatically. Watson carried on with it, the ball's still active, then goes out, it will be a corner kick. It's an interesting thing, because if Watson, there was a foot stuck out by the Cleethorpes defender, and if Watson had ran into that foot, which he easily could have, it would have been a penalty. But he didn't, tried to carry on, realised it, but stumbled down a bit, quite slowly, which a referee's never going to give a penalty for that. And in the end, but he manages to fight and get a corner kick out of it at least, though. He should have just made the option, I think, to run into the foot. It's cynical, but it does work for teams when they do that. Corner goes in, looking for the far post. Turner gets a head onto it, not enough, one goes out for a goal kick. 81 minutes gone in this game. And some big goals have just gone in. So North Ferriby leading 1-0 against Sheffield. Birchall scored. And Winterton are leading 2-1 against Dunstan. This will put Grantham at the bottom of the table for now, but they do have 2 games in hand on Winterton and Brighouse and 1 on Ossett. Though they can't, as Phillipson heads back to Townsend here. Charles sends it long. Has Poole beat the offside trap? I didn't know he hasn't. I didn't think he had. He ain't that quick to get that far away from a defender and beat the offside trap at the same time. Over just down the road at Blundell Park, Grimsby Town are leading 1-0 against Swindon. Smith has scored for them. Ball goes long from Bottomley, and Oglesby will now go to O'Connor, then flicks it on towards Watson, who has control of it, looks to turn, but Oglesby does enough. Oglesby tries to get a touch onto it, but he just runs it into Kay, and it's back with Cleethorpes now. Back with Gallimore into the middle to Annan, who drops deep to collect his deeper roll now. Swings out to Bateson, forced back. He's got a Delican ahead of him. Avoids Charles' pressure into the middle to Annan. Not the greatest first touch, but he still retains pressure. Back now to Oglesby and into the middle to Gallimore. Into the middle, then flicked over to Oglesby on the right. Taking the touch, will look to switch play, and that's allows Charlesworth to get the foot away from Basin, and then Marshall tried to get beyond a Delican, but Delican gets back with Cleethorpes. Ball goes forward, Turner blocked. The Delican will stop it going out. Back it goes to Kay now, and back into Cleethorpes' own half with Walker. And then over to Gallimore, who then passes it forward. over to Annan, who will look to switch play and over the top of Charlesworth and into Bates, and this is an opportunity for Cleethorpes. Bates swing runs in, tries to get it back to Kay. Kay turns and shoots, and just wide. Townsend was following it all the way. Bateson did go down in the box at the same time. There weren't an appeal from penalty from the Cleethorpes players. I thought there might have been, though. And Stocksbridge's last throw of the dice to try and win the game is Ollie Novak. He's about to head on now. He's going to replace Alex O'Connor. Just down the road from here against Grimsby Borough, Ollie Novak scored to get the Seals back into that game. And he'll be looking to score on the East Coast again. Actually, I thought it was Alex O'Connor coming up, but at the moment, let's see if the substitution is actually, and it will now actually have. So that's O'Connor heads off. Ollie Novak will come on. So Thomas Poole and Magin will now drop into central midfield. Or Ollie Novak will. All going forward. Novak takes a touch, and that's his first touch. Ends up going out for a throw-in. Novak just has to avoid trying to be too busy. Sometimes he works very, very hard, but he's just trying to do too much, trying to be everything, and he doesn't have to be that. And when he does simplify his game, success seems to follow him. There's a throw-in with Dolman to take for Stocksbridge. Thrown down the line, headed up into the air, and Novak will head it to the side to Watson. Gets his first touch on it, bounce in the air, takes the pressure on Cleethorpes. Gallimore heads it back to Oglesby, just boot that one away. Well kept in by Adamson, but it's going to go back to Oglesby, who slices it up into the air. Oglesby will just big boot away from Oglesby. Probably heard that from the microphone, that big boot, and in the end, Oglesby cleared out for a throw-in. 86 minutes gone, remains 0-0. Both teams looking for a winner. Clip ball into the box. Walker tries to head it on in, but Oglesby will head it away. Hogg chests it down, controls, and he's got no one ahead of him. He has to take the short pass to Watson, who tries to turn around Oglesby. Gets the beating of Oglesby. He's going to tear down the left wing, Watson now. Into the middle to Poole. Not a great touch. Back it goes, trying to find Turner beyond him, and then that's going to be well robbed in midfield by Cleethorpes, who get beyond to Tomlinson. And then just behind Annan, and that allows Phillipson to get on the ball. Just a game of nearlies at the moment, as Marshall will head down the right wing now. Face up with Delican. Bit of footwork from Marshall, but he doesn't have the confidence to beat Delican. He'll pass it back to Charlesworth. Andrew Norfolk has been sent off for Bridlington against Ossett. As the ball goes over the top, looking for Marshall. He gets the touch. Does it come off a Delican Lass? It does. Corner kick to the Steels. The travelling Stockbridge Sport have come here rather than the reserves game, or trying to urge the team on to get this late winner. They do say this is the best time to take the lead. So Poole with this corner. Oglesby and Phillipson heading up. Phillipson yet to score for the Steels, but he scored 3 for Brighouse earlier. Trimble into the middle. Walker ends up heading over his own goal. Had to be careful with that. It's another corner kick for the Steels. Watson picks up that ball, he'll leave it, but he will leave it Poole. Concert have got one back against Carlton. Will Shaw has scored for the North East side. So back with Poole, and it's not that a massive team. That's what does affect us from set pieces this year, especially with Goodwin out at the moment. Poole sends it low towards the near post, and just about knocked away. It's going to go out for another corner kick. Appeals for a handball from the Stocksbridge away support, but I don't think it was one. Third corner in a row for the Steels, this time from the left wing. High lofted one, he's looking for the far post. Oglesby doesn't get a touch onto it. Marshall's going to try and keep it in. He does do so, but his foot takes it out of play. It's a goal kick to Cleethorpes. 88 minutes gone in this game. Ball going long towards Josh Walker, who tried to get it past Dolman, but his touch just takes it out for a throwing. The ball goes now to Watson, who only volleys it out towards Charlton, who has to head it into Phillipson, who volleys it away. Marshall's tracking it, but Delican should get the touch onto it. It does, but it's not a good one. It ends up taking out for a Steels throw-in. Marshall is trying to get it off the Cleethorpes manager, who won't let it go. Oh, So that's slowed down the game, stopped any chance of counter strategies. I say it's canny from Cleethorpes. As Charlesworth now takes throwing, sends it towards Marshall, who's been hugged by Adelican, and he loses the ball out. Bateson will clear it away. Phillipson heads it back into the middle. Nowak tried to get the touch onto it, but just goes back to Phillipson in the end and tries to throw it to Marshall. Tries to keep it in, does that? No, he doesn't do. So it's a throw in to Cleethorpes. Deadly silence around this ground, not in any sort of tension because it's a 0-0, just more in a, well, is this it? Is this how the season ends? This is Cleethorpes' last home game of the year. They've got their presentation evening afterwards as Charlesworth just sends that over to the cricket field, that ball. So it's a throw-in now for Adelican. He'll use a long throw to try and get it into the box. Adelican take it, his time with it, allowing these players to move forward. And here comes long throw right into the box it goes. Phillipson will head away, goes to Bateson on the left, and he tries to cross in, blocks, and then cleared out will be another Cleethorpes throw-in. Doncaster, with their own Adelican, have equalised 2-2 against Barrow. Will Cleethorpes Adelican be the big matter here? Throws it away and Stocksbridge will head it out and then clear it out if the ball's returned. Watson will run onto this. Can Watson turn this into something? Sends it beyond the man towards Marshall. Now we'll try and get the beat of Oxley. Oxley gets enough onto it, but Marshall will carry on. Can he find Turner in the middle? Marshall keeping it in. Marshall trying to find Turner. Not a great ball and not got enough pace on it. And Sam Kay will put the big clearance away from it. And it's that sort of ball, which is why we are staying 0-0 here for a bit longer at least, and probably until the end of the match at this point. Just waiting to hear from the reserves. Hopefully we'll hear the full-time whistle in the next few minutes there as well. We'll try and keep you up to that. As Marshall will throw back to Poole. Ball goes into the middle to Watson, who takes the touch, and it's blocked and then cleared away. There'll be a Steele's throw-in. Stocksbridge are able to put some pressure in. We are now into added time. Don't know, haven't seen how much we're being given, but we are about 1 minute 20 seconds into it. Can't imagine too much. Ben Bottomley is shrieking like a banshee in the goal. Only to Hogg, who's going to try and put it in towards Oglesby, who heads it on. Goes to the right to Poole. He stretched to get a foot onto it. It's not, so he doesn't have much power onto it, and Bottomley saves simply. Big long ball could work out here. Bounces awkwardly, then goes to Townsend, who thought about quickly rolling it out towards Novak, but in the end he's going to go the other way to Hogg. Hogg sending it along towards Marshall. Marshall does really well on the right-hand side here. Marshall trying to send it to Watson beyond, and in the end it's no one there, and it's going to go back to the number 5, Paul Walker, who clears it away. Goes to Bateson, and in the end, even though it's just about 2 minutes of added time, the referee gives us mercy. It's another mediocre 0-0 draw for the Steels. Sounds quite familiar. We faced a seaside town from the East Coast, and we've drawn 0-0. The same thing happened last week. Neither side really made much of a case to take the lead in the second half. It's probably a fair result, a typical end of the season match. Can't say it's too exciting. It's 0-0 here. We're hoping that we will see the reserves get their win soon. Just watching the time here. I think we're going to be a few minutes away from that, so we will just track that on social media. We'll see. Hopefully, we'll see them get the result. But it's 0-0 here, and a dull one, to say the least. Thank you very much for listening. I've been Adam Allcroft. We're sponsored by Jason Rawson, Carpet Fit Inspire. We'll see you next week for our last game of the season at home to Dunstan. Good night.